him, and he said, wait a minute. He said, how long have you been blind? I said, 3 months. He said, my friend, you better learn to function as a blind man before you get a reading machine. The best advice I've ever been given.
Let's talk about that functioning too, because it's really, there are some things that people just kind of oversee. I mean, a lot of people think it's just Braille and a cane and that sort of thing, but things like dialing a phone or just, you know, pouring coffee.
And we use what I call jot dots. They're little plastic, and now they've got them in fabric, and dots that you put on. And in fact, here on this machine, on this table, I have my brains. I call this my brains. This is what is called a voice note.
Okay.
And this is a machine that, there, main menu it says. I hope the mic can pick it up.
Word processor.
Word processor. I do word processing on it. Planner. It's got all my plans for the next year. All my address list in here. Email, I can do email with it. Internet, I can search the internet with it. I can do chat, I don't do that. And media center, I can record on it and so forth. But that machine is a fabulous machine. Now the tragedy is, for most blind people who are unemployed, it costs $2,500.
Yeah.
But if you can get it, it just makes life so much easier.
Sure.
Another.
Let me show this to the camera as well. I just want to show it's a keyboard here, and it's got just about everything on there. And obviously, you just you're able to navigate it very well.
Now, this also comes as a Braille note, and it has a Braille display up here. Much more expensive, of course. This is $2,500. The Braille note probably $6,000 to $7,000. But it has a Braille display, and what you type on it, you feel in Braille. And I'm not that good at Braille, and so in fact, I say that I'm a Braille dropout, and I'm not proud of that. But I'm too old to learn anymore, I guess. And here is another piece of equipment. This little gadget, I have a drive in there. You call it an SD card.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You know, it's what people put in their cameras.
Sure.
That's a 32 gig. I've got 23 books and magazines downloaded onto that.
It looks like a cell phone. Sure.
And I can just imagine 32 gigabytes of memory.
Yeah.
And I record on it. I things that I need to know or real quick. It's just a marvelous, and you can download from the internet onto it. But it's you might, if you want to show that to the camera.
Sure.
But
it's
just
just like a cell phone.
and that's $350.
Oh, that's affordable.
But,
sure.
you know, it's wonderful. And then here, of course, you know, I couldn't dress without this, Mike. Where is your sleeve?
Right here.
Very dark gray, purple.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So it tells you colors. That's amazing.
And I go through my, of course, I have my shirts in the colors together.
Sure.
But I go through my trousers and so forth. I want to make sure.
Black.
Well, this isn't black. It's a blue blazer.
Sure.
But in here it gives me black. But it doesn't always.
Dark gray.
Yeah.
There you go. Sure.
That's dark gray. But that's a wonderful piece of equipment.
Well, you know, you also bring up some things in the book that I thought were fascinating. There's little things like you have to relearn to do a lot of things, like even brushing your teeth.
Oh, yes. That's called alternative techniques. And the one I use is brushing your teeth. How many times do sighted people go to put the paste on the toothbrush, it falls off into the sink?
Sure.
Never happens to me. I never waste a drop. I take the top off the toothpaste tube, stick the end in my mouth, squeeze out some paste, brush my teeth. I don't waste a drop.
Amazing. There you go. Well, you know, another thing about drops, though, what about coffee?
Well, that was the first thing. I always remember my first lesson when I went blind and got over in L.A. and got with the services for the blind, and I walk in and my counselor says, "How you doing?" And I said, "Terrible." And she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I can't do anything." She said, What do you mean?" I said, "I can't even pour coffee into a cup." And she says, "You have a ping pong ball?" Well, I said, "Well, I can get one."
Sure.
She said, "Look," and she pulled out a ping pong ball, handed me a cup. She said, "Put the ball in the cup. Now," she said, "let's just pour water," and she had cold water. "Let's pour it in, but keep your palm of your hand over the top of the cup. When you feel the ping pong ball, you know it's full."
There you go.
And she said, "Then practice with warm water and a little hotter and hotter, and then you'll throw the ball away and put your index finger on the inside of the cup. And you'll burn it a couple of times, but you'll feel the heat, and you'll know how hot, how full it is."
And it's that simple.
Uh-huh.
Look at that.
And those are alternative techniques that are, and hundreds of people come up to me with good alternative techniques that I don't know. And so we share those in the National Federation of the Blind. We try to get together as often as possible and talk about, not moan about our blindness, but talk about how we can do better, how we can, I travel alone for the most part. On airplanes, I get help. I have to get help to find the gate and so forth.
Seat and all that.
But it's possible, and that white cane it's your security. It's the ability to move around with confidence.
And you bring up in the book that there's a proper way to use that cane too, because people have to see it.
That's right.
Sure.
Yes, and you learn to hold it a certain way. There's the pencil grip, the grip, the entire grip, and you just know, and you get so much information from that cane.
You brought up another story though that I thought was very poignant, and it was about autumn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When I rolled in the leaves.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, I was just getting back to learning how to function as a blind man, and I was coming out of the gym and headed home, and I was going down the Copper Street in Albuquerque, and leaves were on the street. But as I crossed in front of a wonderful Catholic church called St. Mary's, there were a lot more leaves, and I don't know why, but I said to myself, I can't see fall anymore. I'm blind, and I went over. I got my gym bag, my cane. I go over into the lawn of this church, and they've got huge trees, and